At the last occasion, I asked you about your diversity and inclusion pathway, and we're told on notice that, and you took the question on notice, I think, so thank you for that, that the department has, or the agency has 1.5 full-time equivalent officers who deliver ASIO's diversity and inclusion strategy. What's the cost per annum for those positions to the agency?
Off the top of my head, we're just working it out now, so 225K.
Yep. And there are 7 staff-led diversity and inclusion programs that you have. I think they include pathways for staff experiencing mental health issues, gender equity issues, sexually diverse network, and a network for introverts, which must be something else. And a number of others, Parents Network, one for Indigenous employees. Do they have a cost to the agency as well? And how much staff-led time do they take up?
Well, it's part of something the staff do on their own time. They obviously, yes, they do it in work time. We don't cost it. It's just part of the importance of these networks.
Do you have a staff-led group for people of Christian faith?
No, I don't believe we do so, but if they wanted one, they were welcome to have one. In terms of the cost and impact, we measure people on their performance, and we're a high-performing organisation, and I'm confident none of that impacts us. In fact, all of this supports us doing our job well.
Right. Can I just take you back, just as my last line of questioning, to some of the commentary around right-wing extremism as it gets described. In your annual report, there are multiple references to the Weambler incident, the tragic Weambler incident in December of, I think, 22.
Correct.
It was. Multiple references. When I go back and look at the instances of terrorism in this country, I see the Endeavour Hills stabbing in 14, the Lint Sydney hostage crisis in 14, Parramatta shooting in 2015, Minto stabbing in 2016, Queanbeyan and on and on and on. 11 or so instances that, including the very recent Wakeley Church with the Good Shepherd Church attack, stabbing in very recent times. Something like 11 to 1 that represent radical Islamic terror. You said, I think, that there is an increasingly small number of instances, yet the annual report seems to focus quite squarely on the one incident that is right-wing Christian nationalist extremists. Is the agency overplaying that?
Well, no, we're actually calling out the actual attacks in our annual report. We talk about actual attacks that are described as a terrorist event and major terrorism disruptions. Weambler was Christian violent extremists.
But that's not the preeminent concern for the agency. It's still radical Islam.
Anyone who has think that violence is an answer is a concern of my agency. You're right to call out the characterisation of the actual successful attacks, but anyone who has a violent extremist ideology will get the full attention of myself and the Federal Police and State and Territory Police Forces.
So what sort of weighting are you now putting on right-wing Christian nationalists versus Islamic terror-inspired chatter? What are you monitoring at the moment by way of...
Well, so the most likely terrorist event in this country will happen with little or no warning, with a knife, car or gun, as we've recently seen with a knife. It could come from any of those ideologies you've just outlined.
But which is garnering the most attention of the agencies at the moment?
Well, right now, I say about 60-40, give you the rough estimate there, of religiously motivated violent extremists versus nationalist and racist violent extremists. When I put in a broad category other people with conspiracy theories, that's about the mix, but it moves around. That doesn't necessarily mean it translates into the 60% will generate all the attacks. It could well be one on the margins or in the 40%.